Crossroads. Each week, Chevrolet presents a true story based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi. The men who take part in the everyday drama of people at the crossroads of life. These exciting true stories have been selected by our board of advisors. Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum.
The half-forgotten Korean campaign, and men who should never be forgotten. Especially such men as Chaplain Emil Joseph Kapaun. Certainly he never will be forgotten by the men who served with him.
Would you like me to write to her?
Right nice of you. Looks like you're gonna have to write a lot of letters.
Are you scared?
A little bit too late for me to be scared, isn't it?
How old are you, Bob?
20. Almost.
I don't think you've got much to be worried about.
I'd like to think so. I guess I haven't lived long enough to be a very big sinner.
You've been a big man.
Thank you, Father.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you, Father.
I'll take over, Father. This is my department.
It's my department, too. I'm not leaving it.
You don't have to leave him. He's left you.
The sick, the wounded, and the weak, unable to endure the death march into captivity, fell by the roadside. The horror of the death march ended in a prison stockade deep within enemy territory, where a new agony of survival began. In this prison hut, there were no lines of creed or color. There were only Americans: Antonelli, Samuels, Murphy, Martinez. The sick and wounded are refused medical care. Each is made to feel that he is alone, with nothing to look forward to but the cold, the hunger, the sickness, and death. Then, day after day, they are hammered with half-lies, half-truth, impacting against the half-starved, shivering students until comprehension of what is falsehood and what is truth is almost lost. To refuse to attend the lectures means no food at all and quick man-killing punishment.
Ask yourselves the question, what are you doing here in Korea? Did you want to come? Are the Korean people your enemies? Are the Chinese? Does your country have possessions in Korea that it must protect? You have been betrayed. All of you. You are puppets in the hands of imperialistic warmongers who seek to keep China from finding a place in the sun. Were you fighting to keep the imperial colonies of Hong Kong and Shanghai in British hands? They are Chinese, you know, carved out of the heart of China with British bayonets. Were you fighting to keep the French imperialists in Indochina? The Dutch in Indonesia?
Pardon me, comrade. May I ask a question?
Yes, if it is constructive.
Oh, it is.
Then I'll be happy to answer it.
Who is fighting the imperialistic Russians to keep them out of China?
Russia is a friend of China.
Pardon me. Perhaps I was confused.
The Russians are a people's democracy like China.
Well, tell me, is it not fact that Russia carved Outer Mongolia, Manchuria, Tibet, and other territories out of the heart of China, just as they carved Hungary, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, Latvia, Estonia out of the heart of Europe?
Capitalistic Wall Street lies.
Oh, I'm just seeking the truth. Then the Russians hold Manchuria.
But that is different. The Russians are in China as invited guests.
Oh, Well, then the Chinese government rules these Chinese provinces occupied by the Russian troops. Really, the Russians are taking their orders from the Chinese.
Yes. That is no.
Tell us, comrade, how many Russians have you given orders to?
Sit down. I'll have all of you punished.
What for, comrade? I'm just trying to help these men to understand the truth of your facts.
You're an obstructionist, you and your church. Everything you say, everything you do. Ever since you've been here.
Father Kapaun was subjected to special punishments for daring to administer to the spiritual needs of his fellow prisoners. He had defied the red orders against holding religious services.
This should cure you of your stupid Bible talk. And listen to our sensible talk. And stop telling your comrades otherwise.
How is he?
I don't know how he's hung on this long. If he was in his right mind, he'd stop hanging on. We all would.
Take it easy.
Face it. This is the way we're all going to end up sooner or later.
You let Father hear you talk like that, he'll boot you all around the compound.
I had a chance to talk to him for a minute this morning. Guards weren't looking, and
He can talk?
he's worried about Martinez. Said we should take good care of him.
10 days at the post, standing in 2 tubs of ice water. He's worried about somebody else.
My Dola commies are trying to kill him off. He's a bad influence on us.
Then why don't they take him out and give it to him in the back of the head? They've done it to plenty others.
I've been trying to figure that out. Why they don't. I think they're afraid of Father.
Afraid? Afraid of a guy that can hardly walk?
Maybe I'm not getting through to you. They're afraid of Father. Like a guy who's afraid to walk through a graveyard at night. You know, as if they were superstitious about him. They're afraid of what Father has inside.
Well, whether he comes off that post alive or dead, we're a cinch to lose him anyway.
You mean they're going to transfer him to the officers' quarters if they ever get it finished?
That's just what I mean. How's Martinez?
He can wait. Let's do something about you.
Let's hope you have learned your lesson. And from now on, we are expecting cooperation from you and these men. You should be an example for your fellow prisoners.
I always try to be.
We shall see.
Look at his feet.
What's so funny about frozen feet?
You know the first thing I'm going to do when that first American tank comes rolling down the road to this compound? I'm going to run down that comrade's son and kick him over the barbed wire fence. That is, if these dogs ever thaw out.
Wish you'd lived so long. Father, an American tank rolling down that road?
What's that?
I'm sorry. But let's not kid ourselves.
That's right. Let's not kid ourselves that we're not going to make it out of here.
We're awful glad you're back.
Get him off, will you? How goes it, Martinez?
Great. Honest, Father, great.
Maybe we should send him to the hospital.
You won't let him, will you, Father?
Take it easy, kid.
Don't let him take me. Stone, he went to the hospital. He's dead. They're all dead.
You just knock it off. Nobody's going to take anybody to the hospital. You ought to be ashamed for even mentioning it. This outfit takes care of its own.
I'm sorry to be such a baby.
Cracked corn. Back home, Merrill, we wouldn't serve this stuff to the pigs.
I've never seen a pig that I wouldn't trade places with right now. You could only get enough of this stuff to know what it feels like to have a full belly.
Stop dreaming. On this stuff, not even a chicken can get a full belly.
That's right, Samuels. Tell me, anybody remember what day this is? I don't even know what month it is.
It's Thanksgiving.
Oh, great. We sure got a lot to be thankful for this year.
You know, I remember back in Kansas. Did I ever tell you I come from Kansas? When I was a kid back on the farm, Thanksgiving was a big day. Took Mother about a week, 10 days to get ready for it. I can still see Mother in the kitchen turning out pumpkin pies with a crust that melted in your mouth. Cakes, chocolate and vanilla icing. Then about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd all sit down. Father would say grace, and we'd pitch in. Turkey with cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes with giblet gravy, plum pudding and hard sauce.
Knock it off. What are you trying to do?
Yeah. What are you trying to do? Drive us nuts? Making us remember things like that.
Keep remembering them. Those good things about home and family. Things like Thanksgiving. Because then when Comrade's son starts hammering at you guys about how good the red idea is and how stinking America is, you can look him right in the eye and laugh at him for the liar he is.
I'm sorry. I should have known.
Forget it, Merrill. Well, it may not be turkey with all the fixings, but it's still Thanksgiving. Heavenly Father, bless this food, such as it is, and this day. We have much to be thankful for. We're men living together who have learned to trust each other and to suffer together, and have learned to share the good and the bad together. There's none among us who would take advantage of his friends nor seek to benefit by their misfortune. For this we give thee thanks. Amen.
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 Where you going, that Nellie? Don't you like turkey?
I'll be right back. Well, there it is, Father.
What's this?
It's a whole extra bag of rations I've been scrounging from the commies for the past month. Well, I had it hid under the hut, just in case things came up tougher than they were. Well, after listening to you, I guess this stuff would have choked me if I tried to eat it.
It's very nice of you, Angelo. Thank you.
It's very nice of you. Yeah. Nice of me. You prayed me out of it.
Well, there you are. The power of prayer.
Hey, wait a minute. You didn't know I had that hid out there, did you?
Now, how would I know a thing like that?
Well, I don't know. It just seemed like you were looking right at me, even if you were talking to the man upstairs.
Just imagination. Maybe a touch of guilty conscience.
Martinez. Martinez. Look.
Double rations. Courtesy of Mr. Angelo Antonelli. You'll be on your feet in no time now.
Thanks, pal.
Ah, forget it.
By the middle of March 1951, the prisoners were in a desperate condition. Father Kapaun set them to gathering and boiling weeds in an attempt to produce vitamins.
Pain I can stand. I'm beginning to swell up like a poisoned pup. My legs are getting those black spots on them like Stone and Barnes. Hurry out of here! Hurry out of here, you know! Let me go! Hurry out of here, let me go!
Just a little fight to keep warm. You mind? Might be one less mouth to feed. Let's face it, Father, we get more to eat or we'll...
We get more to eat.
How? By swallowing that red hogwash Comrade's son's been trying to sell us for the last 6 months?
Yeah, like some of the guys in this camp did. Sell out to the commies for a pan full of lousy rice. Let's not judge too harshly those that are weaker than yourselves. They had but one choice, life or death.
That's all we've got.
Be not afraid of them who kill the body.
Sure. That sounds great. But this is the only body I got. You said we were going to get more food, but you didn't say how.
Have you no faith in me?
You got an angle, Father?
Could be. Did you ever hear of St. Demas?
No.
Your education's been sad and neglected, Angelo. St. Demas was the good thief. I think I'll have a session with him. Ask him to intercede for us. I think he'll come up with the answers.
Wait a minute. Who are you trying to kid? If anybody's going to steal anything, it's going to be us.
Well, you never even heard of St. Demas.
Father, a priest can't.
All the better. Gives me the edge. I've got the right connection.
So Father Kapaun took upon himself the role of the good thief. Every American prisoner in that compound knew about the raids of Father Kapaun on the supply ship. But he was never betrayed for any price. He was the good thief who was keeping them alive. But Father Kapaun did more than feed the bodies of his men. He fed their souls. He fed their hope. He fed their will to resist.
And you're the guy that thought he wasn't going to make it.
I didn't make it. You made it for me.
You haven't had a temperature in over a week now. That wound's healed nicely.
I'd feel swell if only my feet didn't feel like lumps of ice.
Oh? Well, we'll see what we can do about that. How did I?
What do you want now?
To make a deal. My watch for a blanket. A good blanket.
So even Father Kapaun will make a deal with me for his own comfort or advantage.
In this case, I'll admit the end justifies the means.
How do you know that I will make a deal with you? How do you know that I won't just confiscate your watch?
Bad policy. Especially for a man whose job it is to convince the prisoners of the attractiveness and the benefits of the communist way of life.
You can have your blanket.
That's a very good watch. Wind it every night. Take care of it. It was a gift to me from my mother on the day I was ordained.
Very touching. And to think that you would part with such a precious memento for a blanket.
Father Kapaun's trade with Comrade's son resulted in warm socks for the sick, fashioned by his own hands out of the material supplied by the blanket.
Here, now, let's try these out for size.
How's that?
On Easter Sunday, 1951, Father Kapaun again flouted the red dictate against any religious services. There were no stained glass windows, no organ music, and no vested choir. There was nothing to mark Father Kapaun's office as a priest, excepting the frayed bit of purple ribbon about his neck, his stole. His mass equipment was lost at the time of his capture.
I never was much of an orator or a preacher of sermons. But Easter is a time of rejoicing. It commemorates the resurrection of the Son of God, the resurrection of the body, the spirit, and the soul. Let us never lose our faith that we too will triumph over even death. Close your ears to the blandishments of the enemy. Resist the temptation to take the easy way. For what profiteth a man if he gain the whole world and loses his immortal soul? Whatever your faith may be strong in it. Rejoice in it. For it is the power that will conquer all the enemy against us. Your faith. Your faith.
Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Go on, talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Go on, preach. Go on, talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Go on, talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Preach. Talk. Go on, preach. Go on, talk. Preach. Talk.
But no man who has given so much of himself to his fellow men, so much of his strength, can hope to endure forever.
Don't take it so big, will you? Just going home a little earlier than you guys, that's all. I don't need any ceasefire to set me free. Besides, you guys are big enough and tough enough to take it from here yourselves. You don't need me to reach you out with a hand no more.
What do you think you're going to do? Take him to the hospital where he belongs.
Over my dead body.
That way, if you prefer.
It won't help matters any. Here are the 6 shack. It's a matter of hours, days at the most. Besides, let's not spoil our last time to getting your skulls bashed in. I got you outnumbered. Don't let them use me as an excuse for taking it out on you. Angelo, you know the prayers. Keep holding the services. You're out. Ralph, when you get back to New Jersey, you get that business about your marriage squared away. You know, you guys, first and only congregation I ever had. I wouldn't trade you for the biggest church with the biggest dome in the whole world. Okay, let's go.
Each night thereafter, at lights out, Father Kapaun's monument was hung on the wall of the prison hut to remain until dawn. It was not a thing of stone or bronze. It was fashioned by hand from scrap wood. But he needed no monument. His memory was forever enshrined in the hearts of his congregation. Some men will never be forgotten. Men like Father Emil Joseph Kapaun.